Have you ever been sewing along and you just hear this like grinding sound in the machine? It just doesn't sound like something is stitching just right. And when you pull it out, maybe it's tight like this is, and I might have to give it a little turn to get it to even want to come out of the machine. And you look at it, and on the front it looks like a straight stitch, but on the back it looks like a mess. Now, this is not a tension issue so much. So this is not I need to adjust my tension. This is the top thread not being actually in the tension discs. Now those are the discs that are right up here. When your presser foot is up, these discs are actually open and waiting to accept the thread. And when you lower the presser foot, they close on the thread and make it really, really tight. So what's happening here is that you've either not threaded it correctly, or you didn't thread it hard enough or firm enough down that groove for it to actually get into the discs that are the tension discs. So no matter what you change to those settings, nothing's going to happen because the thread's not even in the discs. Now, for me to usually get this sample to even come out while we're doing a video on it, is I usually have to physically unthread the machine. So you can actually see my thread right here. So if for any reason you missed that back guide or you just didn't get it in there, this is what is going to happen. So here's how to fix it. So number one, as you go to rethread the machine, is if you hold the thread with your left hand back here and thread it, excuse me, that's not my left hand, that's my right hand. Okay, right hand, hold it there. Then thread it down the front, down those tension discs right here with your left hand. You can feel the thread firmly be seated in that area. Now here's another way to actually test to see if I have that correctly done. Now, while the foot is up, it should be fairly loose to pull. You can see I'm just pulling it gently. But as soon as that presser foot goes down, that should be nice and tight to pull. And I can do that. You'll also find that when you have it all the way threaded through the needle, and that is actually lowered, it will actually pull on the needle. So this is a little test that we often do when people say that they're not getting a good looking stitch and they're on the phone. I'll have them do this test where as the foot goes down and they pull on this thread, if it's tight, then it's correctly threaded. But if it's super loose when they pull on it, they just haven't put it in the tension disc. Now all that means is you have to thread this machine with purpose, and that way the thread will get it all the way in there. Another way to kind of confirm that this has been done, you can take the thread at the top and at the bottom and kind of give it a little floss, and that will make sure that that thread seats itself firmly into those tension discs. Without the thread in there, you have no tension, and you will get lovely bird nests on the back of your fabric every single time. And here's one other note. I left the two threads in the machine on purpose. There's blue thread in the needle and pink thread in the bobbin. And whose problem is it? It's the blue thread that creates the nest, not the pink bobbin thread. So that's why I didn't go digging in my bobbin as the solution. I went ahead and rethreaded the top because the top was the blue thread, and it is the one that doesn't look right. So even though it shows on the back, the problem is actually on the top.